everybody. You made it through the weekend. At least I would hope so if you're here watching me. Or someone put it on in the background while you're laying in your coma bed. Either way, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Go follow us on Instagram at 431 Podcast. Don't forget to check out our full-length podcast, mostly about college football, but we touch on a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm very wet because it is raining cats and kittens out there. Dogs and cats, however you want to phrase it, out there. If you are a teenage girl and you're listening to this, or even if you're not a teenage girl, the cars with the push-button starts, you got to put them in park in order to start them. And the parking brake, you have to turn it off, and you can only do that if it's in the park position. As I just had a very nice young lady not back into my car, but kind of roll back into my car. She was honestly like a foot away from rolling back when she rolled back into my car, so it didn't even do any damage. But yeah, you got to put it in park first. So that's my tidbit for you today. Anyway, this is the 10-minute sports report. Today is Monday, June 12th, 2023. Let's get right to it. On Saturday, the Vegas Golden Knights took a 3-0 lead midway through the second period. Chandler Stevenson scored in the first, Chandler Stevenson scored in the second, and then William Karlsson scored in the third. It was 3-0, and then the Florida Panthers mounted a comeback. Brandon Montour scored at the end of the third period, and then Alexander Barkov scored early in the third, but it was not enough. A late flurry was left just short and was stopped by Aiden Hill's skate pad at the buzzer, and the Florida Panthers are now down to the Vegas Golden Knights 3-1. After the game, as soon as the bell sounded, a full-on scrum broke out on the ice. Vegas was not happy that the Panthers kind of fell into their goalie. Florida wasn't happy because they felt like they were pushed into, so nothing has come of that, no suspensions or anything. Matthew Tkachuk kind of had his stick involved there late, but they broke it up as well. They broke that up before anything could happen. So the Vegas Golden Knights have a series lead of 3-1 on the Florida Panthers. And Game 5 in Vegas is Tuesday night, 8 p.m. So tomorrow, the 13th, Tuesday the 13th, the Vegas Golden Knights will try to win the Lord's Stanley's Cup and be NHL champions. Over to basketball tonight, the Denver Nuggets try to close out the Miami Heat on their home floor, where they have only lost once this entire postseason. They are up 3-1 on the Miami Heat. They have really dominated every game. The only game they did not dominate was Game 2, and they were up 9 entering the fourth quarter, and then basically took it easy or stopped putting in effort to the game. However, Miami Heat guard and former Sixth Man of the Year Tyler Hero was officially upgraded to questionable earlier today and is expected to dress and attempt to play in Game 5. Hero has been out since April 16th, where he broke his right hand in Game 1 of the first round series against the Milwaukee Bucks, which they would go on to win 4-2. Hero has been the Heat's second leading scorer this season, averaging 21.1 points, while converting 203 three-point attempts in the regular season. The Heat can certainly use that production, as their starting backcourt of Gabe Vincent and Marcus Strauss are just shooting 29% from three. I don't know how much their production, if he does play tonight, out of shape, in the finals, well, in not great up and down running basketball shape, and not all that great shooting shape. So how much production can they really get out of him? That's the main scene. Meanwhile, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray go for the kill shot tonight in Denver. A check on the local baseball teams. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 4 games above 500. They are on a 1-game winning streak. So I left you off with the Athletics. They had just lost 9-5 with the Athletics. The next game, they beat the Mets 14-7. The next game, they lost to the Mets 5-1. And then the next game to the Mets, they won 2-1. Andrew McCutchen did get his 2,000 hit. He started in the Pirates organization, then went to San Francisco for a little bit, then went to Philadelphia for a little bit, and is now on the twilight of his career back with the Pirates. They are 4 games above 500. They are 1 game above the Milwaukee Brewers, so they are leading the NL Central by 1 game. A check-in on the Baltimore Orioles. Their streak hit 4 games. They beat the Brewers 6-3. Then they swept the Royals in 3 games by a score of 3-2, 6-1, and 11-3. They are now just 5.5 game backs of the Tampa Bay Rays, and they do lead the wild card, so they are in playoff position. Speaking of those Tampa Bay Rays, after a 7-game win streak, it was snapped by the Rangers by a final score of 8-4. The game before that, they were 8-3 winners. That put their win streak up to 7 games. They lost 8-4, and then they won 7-3. So their win streak is at 1. They sit at 48-20. That is MLB best. And they are 5.5 games in front of the Baltimore Orioles in the AL East. And that'll do it for this rendition of your 10-minute sports report, coming in at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm your host, Captain Boren. Go ahead and like, subscribe, share. Go follow us on Instagram at 4th and 1 Podcast. I will see you tomorrow to recap Game 5 of the NBA Finals and get you all set for Game 5 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Until then, wash your hands, you filthy animals. Stay dry as it's raining some cats and dogs out there. God bless you all, and peace out.